Is it done? Is the war over? Can I talk about the Veilguard now without it completely devolving into madness? I know it's been like a month and it feels like everyone has said everything that could be said, but I have stuff to add. I promise. Like, did you notice that Varric was holding a plate of corn in this scene? Yeah, so a lot to add. Plus, it's my opinion, which is, of course, the opinion that I value the most. Dragon Age games, from Origins to 2 to Inquisition, always have been committed to one thing, being wildly inconsistent from one another. For better or for worse, games should always look to improve themselves, and not every change is going to be a hit. But these games, at their core, they all have one thing in common: rich stories and intricate characters that stick with you long after the credits roll. Dragon Age the Veilguard left me with something a bit more bittersweet. As a Dragon Age fan, I have a lot of thoughts. So let's just look at some gameplay, have some fun, and talk it out. Quickly, womp womp, spoilers. I won't be spoiling the main story or anything huge or important, but I will have gameplay and other things like conversations, cutscenes that I will be spoiling to prove my points. So if you're sensitive to that kind of stuff, play the game first before you watch this. Also, another warning, the gameplay that I'm showing, I captured off of my PS5, and from the PS5 to the PC, there was a lot of definition loss, so it's a mistake I'll make once.
My agents have found nothing. With the Illuvians, he could be anywhere.
With the Inquisition officially disbanded, we have no army, no formal alliances.
We have what we truly need.
We will need to be careful.
Solus knows everything about us. Who we are, how we work, our strengths and weaknesses.
Then we find people he doesn't know. We will save our friend from himself. If we can.
I can't wait to see what they have in store for us.
Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
You can play human, elf, dwarf, or Kunari. That's different. You know what it reminds me of, though? Baldur's Gate 3 tieflings with big horns instead of little horns. Why would they do this? Why would they beautify the Kunari like that? A race of warriors. If I had to take a guess, it's probably because people generally tend to gravitate towards the more attractive race designs, but what do I know? You know what? Before I judge, let's see what the Kunari look like in-game. Okay, not bad. Okay. Pretty jacked. Looking scary. Let's take a little peek at his face here. Oh, yeah. So it looks like it depends on the alignment of the Kunari. Beefed up and silly hats equals bad. Whew, glad we got that figured out. Every good faith reviewer makes a Kunari rook, so I guess I'll do that too. My main goal in any character creation is to make a hot ass, and generally this is one of my favorite parts of RPG games, so let's dive in. This triangle thing fills me with unbridled rage. In theory, it's the coolest thing ever, but in practice, it's nearly impossible to get a decent looking head shape. It should not be this difficult to make a cute face shape. Just give me more defaults to choose from, okay? I'm a mix and match kind of girl. I'm not good with the sliders. I'm very bad with the sliders. Okay, shade of blue it is. Wow, that's a lot of eyebrows. Wow, that's a lot of eyelashes. You know, I think we got something good on here. Just need to change the eye shape real quick and where are the eye shape options? Even the noses had like 5 options, 5 defaults. I need a moment. To say they improved is an understatement. Listen, I know white-haired Libellans are a joke, but why do we not have a white hair option? You could say it's not realistic, but I mean, neither is a Kunari with horns. It really throws off my aesthetic I was going for, but okay.
I suppose it was too much to hope for.
I'm sorry not to be this way, but this is a fantasy game, and in my fantasy, my character is, you know, super hot. They did choose to go more realistic with the body sliders. Not generally an issue for me, honestly. It does eliminate my choice to be more sexy instead of normal, but again, I'm easy. As long as they throw me a bone and give me some pretty, cool, revealing, sexy armor to walk around in when I feel like it. Oh, come on. All I'm asking for is just like a little bit of, just like a little smidge of cleavage, just a little tiny bit. Just like the little tiniest bit of maybe like side boob, maybe? Under boob? None of the other games were like that, so asking for it feels kind of silly. But like I said, wildly inconsistent from another, the games. You never know. Finally, I can make my Inquisitor without that horrible green lighting that makes it impossible to know what your character looks like. Touche, Bioware. Touche. Anyway, character creation is fun, and I've already made 3. Oh, my Rook look kinda cool, actually. Yay, Varric! Yay, Solus! Yay, Elise Harding! Well, actually, I don't really care about her. I didn't really care about her in the last game. Just skip through her dialogue. But she's here too! I feel like this intro was made just for me.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Doing that will attract anything nasty that's hanging around.
I wonder if Harding should stay with the Veil Jumpers or not. It bothers me when games do this. Why are you even giving me the choice if all of the answers are the same? Genshin Impact, I'm looking at you. Just fucking take them out. If you're not even gonna give me a choice, what's the point? To stall me for a second? To make me click the button? Yeah, that's probably it.
Damn it! Oh no!
Oh my god, Bellara, you're so fucking cute! Ah! What is this? Failing, I have this urge to click the options and I trans even though I don't want to.
Happy. Ha 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 ha.
Prime Minister of Malaysia, bad!
Nothing to worry about at all. Just relax.
Obey my dog!
I must kill the Prime Minister of Malaysia and then make sweet love to his wife because I'm gay now. Kidding. I'm just kidding.
Just relax.
But sources have told me that I'm about to experience some woke BS for at least 70 hours straight.
It's so quiet.
Too quiet.
A lot of dead people.
I whip my hair back and forth, I whip my hair. Where the hell is all the woke stuff?
She acts more like a man herself.
Oh. Well, moms can be embarrassing.
Don't be a dick. That was for the little one. Stupid birds.
I actually kind of like Tosh. They got this big softy in a hard shell kind of vibe. I think we're gonna be buds. Welcome home, Tosh. This is our lighthouse, our mojo dojo, if you will. I cannot wait to talk to you about dragons.
Do you like being a woman? Nobody likes being a woman.
We did kind of just meet. Just moved in. Yeah, sure. I do see the problem here. Okay. We're lacking some nuance in the writing. Tosh is written with representation first and character second. And while that would have been completely fine in another style of game, in this one, it's a bit jarring. Figuring out their gender identity is a big deal to Tosh, but by making this the center of their story quest and putting it up against other personal quests that are like a deadly demon inhabiting you or a serial killer being on the loose, it sadly makes Tosh's issues seem insignificant. Not because they are, but because of the overall world-ending context. They do a disservice to Tasha's character by setting them up to fail, in my opinion. I'm not saying that they needed to omit Tasha's struggle with their identity from their story, just that it needed to be woven in much better. You can be happy that representation is there, but also sad that it's not done well. I am indeed really curious to see what the overall perspective of Tasha's character is 10 years from now. Oh wait, what's this? A skip button? You mean I can just skip past this if I don't want to see it? No, I can't be forced to watch it. I wanted to scoff at it and shake my head and say, what happened to video games these days? Scram! Scram! Overall, I'm pretty surprised at the lack of woke content as a straight rook. I'm starting to think that maybe the internet lied to me. Looking back, though, it does seem like the most egregiously bad takes were just rage bait to earn easy money. It's almost as if these grifters could care less about any of this and are just using the culture war to kick shit up and make a ton of money. Maker's Breath, we're all fighting amongst ourselves and they're laughing all the way to the bank! Open your eyes, people. Ignore them! Online isn't real life. Most gamers don't give a shit about inclusion as long as it's written with nuance. It's hard to believe, but most people aren't as online as we think. And you may be one of them. Hello. Hi. Nice to meet you. I hope I didn't scare you off with all that talk, the internet talk. Wow. I'm just really jealous of you. All right, back to it. I don't like it out here. It's cold, there's bugs, grass is dead anyway. It's children. Okay, first off, I need to see if I can jump off the 5th story and live like an Inquisition.
How can I help?
Nope, but you can still drown in 2 feet of water, but this time, with style. Oh. Brain's not gonna understand this complicated skill tree. Oh, just kidding. It's actually super easy to understand, and I love it. It's so beautiful. You almost forget that the world is covered by a mutated super herpes created by bad dreams. Varric, it's been like 3 in-game months. Can you please get out of bed? Or at least talk to me? You're making me feel like they put you in the corner because you're canonically pretty chatty, and without world states, you have nothing to say to me.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer? That's enough. Come on, guys, give me a break.
I should go practice more. Shouldn't I?
Why does Rook stand like that? What is this? What is that? Who sits like that?
You alright, Rook?
Alright, let's get to know our companions.
I could listen to you ramble all day.
Oh, well, same to you.
You know you're adorable, right?
Uh-huh.
Anyway, is everything okay? And yet, I'm still here.
We need to talk about Ilario.
Why do I feel like Rook always flirts when we're talking about something serious or sad?
I bet not every necromancer looks so dapper when they're working, though.
You choose the most extraordinary moments for compliments.
See? He gets it. Yes, thank you.
Is that bad?
Quite the opposite.
Emmer, no! Don't enable them. It's tough work being Tevinter's most eligible bachelorette, but can you all talk to me more about maybe, like, I don't know, your feelings or your past instead, maybe? Anything beside recent events? Especially you, Harding.
You know Varric and I were part of the Inquisition, right?
I know you got a lot of gossip about the Inquisition these past 10 years. Especially about the Inquisitor, am I right?
Well, yeah, we worked together. I wasn't part of the Inquisitor's inner circle, though.
Oh, I guess not. Right, because that would require world states.
Fancy a trip to Treviso?
Lovely. Have your pipers in order next time.
Okay. Wait, what? Dude. Oh, okay. Well, cats in the city are apparently for show.
He was my cousin!
Cousin! Butcher!
You'll rue this day, you'll rue it!
Meet you in Docktown.
They call me Tick. Mother said I got stuck to her like one of them and drained her of life.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Ooh, are we breaking into a chantry?
Oh, the chantry! I bet this will play a big part in this game.
Bodies in the courtyard.
H-O-T-T-O-G-O. Venatori here.
Venatori.
Be there. Venatori.
Venatori.
Everywhere. Evil cult to evil. Evil on town to evil. Good God good. Bad God bad. Rah. I'm exaggerating, but not by much. Some of the bad guys try to be morally ambiguous with hinted at reasons as to why they do the things they do, but their reasons are still pretty black and white. It makes the enemies feel like hollow punching bags, even the bosses, even though the more advanced boss fights are a lot of fun. Like, I love the combat of this game. It's very engaging.
It's my pleasure to share the tranquility of this place with you.
I like your funny words, Magic Man. I romanced Davrin last time, so maybe I'll romance Emmerich.
You're my first... anything. I've never been with anyone romantically.
I don't think I'm the target audience for this romance. Tosh, maybe? Oh, I don't think I'm the target audience for this romance. The funny thing about that scene is I know if I had read that in a book, I would have been all about it. But watching it with my two eyes, it's different. It's different. I was considering romancing Lucanus, but something really terrible happened to his city, and then he was hard the whole game. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Who is this?
Oh, guess I'll just be nice then. Or nice in a blunt way. Actually plan on that, for sure. But Myra can't be evil. I hear you. But outside of Origins, could you ever really be evil? A friend of mine brought up a good point regarding good versus evil in Dragon Age. They've always kept things morally ambiguous, and there was never a clear-cut good or evil side. Well, before the Veilguard. It's pretty clear-cut in this one. But you would make decisions like, do I sentence this man to death because he killed a group of blighted citizens to save the healthy ones? Or should I re-imprison this blood mage and let them go free? They're on the edge of insanity and likely to become corrupt and kill others, but they did promise they'd be good. There was never a good or bad option. Each decision felt equally questionable. Again, excluding Origins, from what I've heard. I haven't played it. I might, but Dragon Age isn't a game where you can just slaughter a group of refugees for funsies. An evil run in Dragon Age is subjective, and it depends on what you decide is evil. For example, maybe in your evil run in Dragon Age 2 or Inquisition, you sided fully with the Templars. Okay, but someone else might believe that that's the most heroic and just path, and that it's for the greater good. What I'm getting at is there's no good or evil, just nice and mean dialogue that gets you more or less to the same place. We just don't like seeing the guardrails, and that's where they went wrong here. They didn't even bother hiding them. And you can argue when I say more or less to the same place, but in the next game, no matter what choices you made beforehand, we all start off the same. No one's allowed to be mean in this game because remember, good guy's good, bad guy's bad. I'm actually impressed with the large amount of armor sets, and a lot of them I quite like.
Listen, I gave!
Wait, no plaid weave? I guess it was more of a Ferelden thing. But now I can't dress my companions up in plaid weave when I'm mad at them. Lucanus, looking at you. Ew. Let's check up on Davrin. Something really sad happened to him, so I just want to make sure he's alright.
Wanted to make sure you're okay after,
I feel like a blade sharpened all these years to confront the worst darkness in the world.
Yes, thank you. Finally, some emotion from these companions. Oh, this feels wrong, given the context of dead friends, but okay, why not? You're looking real fine today, Davrin. Sorry about your dead friends. Can I pet your dog?
Let's get through here. Those two statues are the spare key. Line up the symbols.
Yeah, I gathered that.
I feel like I'm in Genshin Impact with these puzzles, which I don't mind. It makes it easier to turn my brain off and become dead to the world, which is kind of what I'm going for. Most games. Not all of them. But these are like Mondstadt puzzles, not Inazuma ones. That'll mean something to someone. To find the good puzzles, you have to explore. But overall, I'd give the range of difficulty from Weenie Hut Juniors to Forest Temple. And if I do my math right, that's 1, 2, buckle my shoe, 100% more puzzles than Dragon Age 2 had. I miss the hinterlands. I do enjoy having a mapping game that's actually useful, and while I miss the semi-open world vibe of Inquisition, it's really nice not having to spend 10 hours hunting for shards just because I can't figure out how to get to literally anywhere on the map. The environments, all of them are so beautiful, but they felt small and claustrophobic to me. Sorry.
What? Were you looking at my legs?
Tosh, you're twice my height. From where I stand, you're all legs.
They come together eventually.
Excuse me?
Okay, you want to tussle?
Sharing Ferelden cheese could be a start?
Okay.
Okay, fine. They're super cute together and I love it.
Rook, if the gods have an archdemon, we need to know what we're up against.
You know, actually, I know someone who's already pretty knowledgeable about killing archdemons. Did you know that one was killed like 12 Thetis years ago?
This is Inquisitor Llewellyn, the woman who led us all.
Maybe we should ask her.
You stop the gods, and I'll make sure the rest of Thetis doesn't fall to the blight.
No, she's too busy. I mean, she is the Inquisitor, so yeah, she is pretty busy. I don't know, I just thought, you know, maybe since there was that whole last scene in Trespasser where she swore to stop Solus by any means, that she would at least, I don't know, like care to be an advisor, at least, maybe?
We should go, Inquisitor. The armies in the south need you.
Not even close? I see. No, I'm good. I'm good. I just need a moment. Just need a moment. What about Morgan? Morgan? She shows up to Infonump and then stands around with the Veil Jumpers all game. Okay. It's fine. Well, at least Solus plays a huge part. What's that? They shove him in a fade corner and go over his ancient elven past, but past that he doesn't play much of a part until the very end. Right. You know, I'm starting to think they don't even—
I am, after all, remembered as the god of lies, treachery, and rebellion.
He's so sassy. What was I talking about? In Dragon Age 2, everyone hated each other and seemingly only stuck together for Hawke. In Inquisition, the companions' respect and faith in the Inquisitor kept them together, and the Anchor. In this one, if Rook died, I think they'd be just okay. They'd be fine. With Morrigan's help, they'd get all the knowledge they need without Solas's help. Solas's advice didn't really feel crucial. It was more just moments where you were able to talk to Solas.
This is our best chance to free the people he's enslaved.
Listen, Lucanus, I know you aren't the touchy-feely type, but something very serious just happened to you, and I'm looking for some kind of reaction. Can you give me, anything?
I was distracted. That cannot happen again.
Wow, everyone here is really good at compartmentalizing. I stand corrected, Lucanus. Damn, chill. He's already dead.
What is it, son?
I don't know, sir. But it looks like a giant dick.
You spoke of danger to the Fade.
How did the Illuvians go from extremely rare to relatively uncommon items? And the knowledge and access of the Fade go from forbidden and mysterious to not that big of a deal. Also, what's the skill set of the gods here? I feel like their powers and limitations are pretty story specific.
Reality is wild. Just go with it.
Right. Right.
The old rules don't apply.
Stupid birds.
Dang, okay. Oh, sugar snaps.
Work.
Okay.
Me not that kind of orc.
Aww. Anyway.
Shadow dragons. They're a resistance group that fights slavers, blood magic, and imperial corruption.
Oh yeah, that's right. The last 3 games have been telling us all about how widespread slavery and oppression is in Timbinter. It's funny you say that, because I'm not really seeing it. But you keep telling me it's there, so I guess it is? Now that I think of it, no one's called me a slur this whole game. Isn't elven oppression part of why Solas is taking down the veil? I mean, besides forget, of course. I swear I remember Solas putting together a large resistance of elves. Guess it was all a dream. Elves and Thedas are regarded as second-class citizens, but I wouldn't have known that if I didn't play the previous games. In regards to this aspect, I agree that they majorly sanitized this game. It sounds very silly to say that I wanted to see more fantasy slavery and racism, but yeah, I did. It doesn't ruin the game for me, but it's like a piece of the puzzle to help me understand why the world building feels so lackluster in this game compared to the others. We're all mature adults here, and this is a video game. A story. Thedas has always heavily included these themes, and if that makes you uncomfortable, I completely understand. But also Dragon Age just isn't for you then. Well, I guess it is now, but I digress. There are many other games to play that are safe, and some of us prefer to experience a wide array of mature themes in our stories. It doesn't make us gross or mean that we're in support of these themes. When I say I like Star Wars because I love the political world building, you wouldn't immediately assume that I loved fascism. And if the next Star Wars movie followed the Resistance and only ever talked about the Empire and how bad it was and never showed it, and I said, oh, well, I wish I saw more of the Empire, you'd probably agree. Because the story of Star Wars is a result of fascism, just like how the problems in Dragon Age are a result of oppression. Obviously, it's not the only source of tension in Dragon Age, but it was a major theme. If they muted this theme to create a safer space going forward, I understand why from a marketing standpoint, but such a steep shift is jarring, and it's like ripping the wires out of Dragon Age lore and still expecting it to work just fine. There was just so much dodging going on that it felt like it was frightened of itself. And then it just went whole hog on brutally murdering NPCs and death and torture and body horror and all of this. Something happened here. It was not pretty. They're picking and choosing which sensitive themes to keep and which to throw away like we wouldn't notice. Like, they just didn't spend the last 3 games building up to this pinnacle moment. I want to see the elves rise up and overcome the system that enslaves them. It's about the payoff and the good guys winning. That's the fantasy of the game. I'm the hero dismantling the system of oppression. And you wouldn't know it, but Solos is kind of the leader of that movement in many ways. Oh, wait, he can't be, because that would be too morally ambiguous. Wow. Good guy's good, bad guy's bad.
The companion stories are sleeper hits. Initially, they felt predictable and unrelated, but eventually they take turns you don't expect, and by the end, there's just so much crying. So much crying. Ah yes, the illusion of choice.
The decisions you make in regard to companions are comically low stakes.
These decisions felt like an afterthought, like they were added because they knew we expected them. And even though some of the companions had bigger decisions, because the game went without epilogue slides, none of these decisions seemed to matter, because we don't see the outcome of our choices.
Not saying all decisions in this game are. Some are seemingly normal and end up being devastating. I just wish they put in more little decisions throughout the game, even if they didn't lead to anywhere, to fill in the gaps. That being said, it is really impressive that all the decisions you do make have some sort of effect that you can see. And even if you didn't notice, they'll be sure to let you know.
Survive, buried, untouched. They have a chance to return now.
Oh, really? Thank you, I didn't catch that.
What crapped in your bed? I didn't do anything.
Why are all my attempts to converse with you met with scorn?
You talk about corpses too much.
It's a rich topic.
You make a move like they're alive, but they smell wrong and they move wrong and none of it is okay.
Oh. I'd no idea necromancy upset you so deeply, Tosh.
I could have said it was bugging me.
I'll try not to press on the subject of necromancy when we travel together, Tosh.
Sorry I called you a liker. Skull liker.
Hey, did you hear the dialogue? It's like kind of like the HR's in the room. Did you hear it's like HR is telling them in the room like what to say. Did you see how okay, so they're in the room and like HR is telling them what to say. Yes, I have heard that comparison. And while I agree in the instances of Tosh and any argument scene, there's still hours of dialogue that isn't HR's fault. HR isn't going to tell them to dumb down every interaction because we don't want to hurt the robot AI's feelings that are going to take over the world soon, and we don't want them to get angry at us for not representing them and speaking with too much depth and emotion because that's offensive to them. So if we cater to them, and when they take over the world, they'll give us funding to create 7 more games instead of killing us off and making us go work in the salt mines.
Did I hear correctly? You are an abomination.
Why don't you shout? I don't think everyone heard you. Did you ever think about killing yourself?
I could ask you the same thing.
I miss when they hated each other. I miss when the flaws of the characters were so bad that you wanted to kick them out of your group, but they're also your healer or your tank, so you begrudgingly forgive them because there's a big fight coming up and you kind of need them. But then they sort of grow on you, and who knows, maybe you end up romancing them or whatever. The thing is, when characters are so easygoing, they don't get mad at you either. Not that I want the companions to be mad at me. I take it pretty personally when it happens, but more so, I like the thrill of not knowing which option will upset which character. Dialogue Russian roulette, if you will. I also find it interesting to see what they approve and disapprove of. Oftentimes, it gives me more insight into their character than dialogue ever will. But not in this game, they're all pretty chill. I know they're going for a found family vibe in this one, but families still argue. You could say that there isn't much for the companions to argue about. In the previous games, most disagreements came from the Mage versus Templar conflict, something that was highly controversial, so it was easy for companions to hate each other's core beliefs. In short, Mages were prisoners because magic is too dangerous, and Templars are kind of like the cops who hunt rogue mages and watch them to make sure they don't escape the prisons/circles, which seems pretty clear-cut, but in the game, most of the major issues come from rogue mages resorting to blood magic and doing some pretty unspeakable things. Anders was right when he said it's the Templars' fault that the mages even had to resort to blood magic, but he also did a 9/11, so. Anyway, in Tevinter, mages rule the land, and the politics are more so, do you think slavery is good, or no? Yes, mages are widely accepted in Tevinter, but in the lore, there's still a lot of conflict between mage and non-mage, mainly the fact that non-mages are thought of as less than, by a lot. And religion was a huge core theme in the last games that is just not touched. That could be a major point of conflict between the characters. But outside of sensitive topics, couldn't one faction hate each other? Is every faction in Tevinter buddy-buddy? Because it seems like it. The Mournwatch do weird stuff with the dead. The Veil Jumpers are elves that mess around with the Fade, something many people of Thedas fear, especially for those who are religious. Wait, what am I thinking? That wouldn't fit the Veilguard's strong Veil is good stance. Dipping into the Veil status quo isn't good either side would just be confusing. Speaking of confusing, the Grey Wardens are already hated for lore reasons that I won't go into, but I guess everyone just forgot about all that. The treasure hunters are just glorified scavengers that could easily be accused of being thieves. They twist it to make it seem like they're all pirates with a moral code, like, we don't steal, that's dishonorable. Okay, you know your leader is Isabella, right? She's the biggest thief I know. No one cares about that? Okay, well. The crows are literal assassins for hire. They don't kill with discretion. They kill who they are paid to kill. Also, the crows have a dicey history with children that I don't blame them for taking that one out. It all feels like low-hanging fruit that wasn't picked for some reason. But why would they? All the companions have the emotional maturity of someone who's been through years of therapy. So if they had these arguments, they'd probably just resolve them in the same conversation. So if the characters don't have controversial flaws, how am I supposed to fix them? That's a part of my fantasy too, you know. You think I love Gale, Astarion, Cullen, Blackwall, and Solus for the good looks? No. Well, I mean, that's part of it, but no. It's because they're deeply, deeply broken.
Well, wasn't expecting to fight an ogre today. Then again, I also didn't expect to learn that my gods are rampaging around and trying to end the world. Just one of those days.
Was that cringe, Marvel-esque dialogue? I don't know, I think so. Trying to make a segue about the dialogue being awkward turtle, but as a millennial, my cringe writer is a bit not as sensitive as others. So personally, this doesn't bother me. Many times I found it cute, and it made me laugh. Do I wish that they evened it out with darker dialogue? Obviously. My issue isn't the corniness of it all, it's the fact that all the dialogue, all of it, is very light and doesn't seem to fit the serious narrative. I'm stomping past pools of pus and blood, and my companions are joking about what's for dinner. And I liked the dinner banter, I loved it. It just didn't fit when all of the banter is light. Personally though, I still don't think this aspect of the game is as bad as the internet makes it seem. Where's your sense of whimsy? Oh, you're too good for cringe? I was born in it.
Molded by it. I didn't know what cringe was until I was already a woman, and by then I had already embraced it.
But in all seriousness, the reason the dialogue feels cringe or not like Dragon Age is because it's written in modern lingo. I could take dialogue from past games to prove a point, but I don't have to. It's the most obvious when you speak to Morrigan or Solus.
You know I could just lie to you, right?
Indeed. But the truth is merely recalled, while a lie must be constructed. Knowing you would expend the effort to construct that lie rather than answer truthfully would tell me a great deal.
But is it really that easy? Does kindness make up for it? What my people did, I mean?
After all, when kindness fails, the guilty must be punished.
Oh no. Give Lucanus credit. It's terrible.
You need a stronger word for terrible.
So, what's the coffee for?
What isn't it for?
And you can argue that it's because they're old souls, but
Okay, what about Dorian, then?
You may be surprised to learn that I care very little about the
Security of the Wardens. This, in my opinion, is the albatross around the neck, and no matter what, even if there was no other issues with this game, the modern syntax would always keep it from its success.
Oh, Rook! Good to see you. Irilyn and Strife sent word. Some of the artifacts we have in storage are acting up.
Good idea. Yeah, let's keep that locked up.
Psst, Troy. It's me.
Abed?
I made it through. I'm a cartoon now.
That's impossible.
Nothing's impossible in here.
Oh no, the Veil Jumpers are in trouble for the 3rd time. I better go save them. Maker forbid there's a quest in Arlathan where we learn about the Dalish culture or the plight of the elves. Except to be fair, half of the Veil Jumpers aren't even elven. Are there no traditional Dalish clans in Tevinter? I can't even joke here. Instead of side quests where you meet people in Tevinter and learn their personal struggles, it's just go here, kill this Venatori. Go there, kill that demon. Hurry, defeat these Darkspawn. You gain no insight to the world around you. They mention the people of Tevinter are living horrible lives again and again and again and again and again. But why should I care if I never see it? I guess it's a step above fetch quests, but they're all the same to me. I leave them having gained zero knowledge of the world around me. I've learned nothing about how the people of Treviso or Minrathis live. For all I know, the Mournwatch are 5 graveyard keepers that live in a giant underground graveyard. The Lords of Fortune are just archaeologist pirates and Isabella. I learned nothing about the Antam, beyond the fact that they are Kunari that don't follow the Kun, which I guess is optional? No.
The Kun isn't a prison. People can leave if they want.
Perhaps there's more insight in the codexes, but as the average gamer, once you throw more than 20 at me, I'm not reading them. This isn't Elden Ring. It's a world filled with people. Why do I need to consult the text to get a greater understanding of the world? I know they technically had only 3 years to work on this version of Dragon Age 4, and that the previous version was going to be like a live service multiplayer game. And I can see it in these side quests, because these side quests remind me of a MMORPG. Go here, kill this, go here, kill that. They just took out the fetch quest parts, or gather 5 herbs, you know? I don't hate fetch quests, okay? I don't mind them. I played World of Warcraft for like 15 years. All right. Whatever. Act 1 of this game is just okay. I found that the further on you went, the better it got by like a lot. And they really stuck the landing with the ending. It was a lot of fun. I don't want to spoil it with clips or anything. You have to experience it yourself, but it was fun. In the credits, they implied that there would be more games, but this does feel like the end to me. With the way that they wrapped it up story-wise, it just feels like they said goodbye. At least to this Dragon Age. The one I fell in love with. I will give upcoming games a shot if they make one, but my expectations will be low. I do think a lot of what's missing here comes down to time and budget constraints, and also EA maybe forcing them to make it PG-13. I know they have it in them to make a good game. That's the thing. I'm rooting for you, but good luck getting me to care about any character the way I care about Varric Tethys. I wanted to love this game, and when the initial bad reviews started rolling in, I thought, well, they aren't the same type of gamer that I am, so... Or they only hate this game because of its representation or inclusion. And that did happen. Anytime I saw someone write off this game just because of its wokeness, I was determined to love this game even harder. And I did have fun. I played it twice. Okay, by choice. There is so much to this game that is handcrafted with love and care and passion. But the negative reviews aren't wrong either. This doesn't feel like a Dragon Age game to me. So, as a fan, it just makes me sad knowing what could have been. If the Veilguard was a standalone and didn't have the baggage of old games to compare it to, I would have given it a solid 7.5. But with everything considered, as a fan, it rounds down to about a 5.5. Expectation versus reality is hard to get over. And I do want to acknowledge that, and it's the cause of a lot of my complaining. To really enjoy this game, you need to just enjoy the moment and not compare and contrast every 5 seconds. I wasn't able to do that, but I don't know, maybe you could. If you disagree with my opinions on the Veilguard, I get it. We all have our own opinions, and no one person is correct.
Opinions are like testicles. You kick them hard enough, doesn't matter how many you got.
And if you're sitting there saying, Amy, you didn't say anything I didn't already know. Okay, first of all, it must be nice to be so cool and so smart, but excuse me, remember in the beginning about the Varric with the plate of corn and stuff? You didn't know about that. I pointed that out to you. So, there you go. It's not clickbait. Everyone missed that. Didn't see anyone talk about that.
I'd like to briefly recognize that this is my first video on this channel, and I've been wanting to make a second channel for a while, but stepping out of the cozy, happy, supportive bubble that is the ASMR community is pretty daunting. I still have my main channel to work on, and it takes up most of my time, so don't expect regular videos on this channel, but yeah, hopefully I can start posting non-ASMR stuff here. Mostly video game related, but you never know. Goodbye, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching this. I know it was kind of long, but yes, I appreciate you so much. If you want to listen to what I gotta say about spoiler stuff, you can hear that in 3, 2. Just kidding, I had way too much to say, and this video is long enough, so if you want to hear me rant about spoiler stuff, just let me know in the comments. Though I do realize that the window of opportunity to talk about the Veilguard is long gone at this point. Okay, bye. Do you like my mural? Let me get out of the way here. Oh, I'm falling. Do you like it? I think I'll do the murals for like the bigger, more serious ones that I have like a lot to say about. Because this was fun.